We have quite a few branches in America and Canada, and so our people get moved around, and every branch monastery is a new experience for us, for those of us who are dedicated to education and also religious service. The Venerable Master, for those of you who are not familiar with him, he's been in America for over 20 years, and he brought the Buddha Dharma to America in the early 1960s. The Venerable Master established Gold Mountain Monastery in San Francisco, and then in 1976 established Dharmaram Buddhist University. And our headquarters are at the City of 10,000 Buddhas, which is in the North California. And it's a campus of almost 500 acres. And we have a grade school, a secondary school, and a university there. And I'm sure during the course of these few days we will have plenty of opportunity to tell you about our educational programs. The Venerable Master is also a pioneer in the field of translation of Buddhist texts. So a lot of the work of the Society is dedicated to translating Buddhist texts from Chinese into English and other European languages. 那么至于我们的商人呢，他是来了北美洲已经20余年，把佛教的正法介绍到北美来。那么因为有鉴于现在人心不古、道德沦亡，所以商人最注意的就是教育。我们在万佛堂是成人的小学、中学，还有法界大学。那么至于我们办学的宗旨呢，我相信在这几天呢，我们都有机会跟各位朋友介绍。
各位有智慧的善知识，各位同学，各位老师，孔子说过，说三人行，必有我师也。择其善者而从之，其不善者而改之。
All of you wise, good, knowing advisors, all fellow students, and all professors and teachers, Confucius said, when 3 people walk together, my teachers will certainly be among them. We should follow the good that other people display, and we should change the mistakes that other people show us in ourselves. We should change in ourselves the mistakes we notice in other people. Just by hearing this quote from Confucius, we know that he was, in fact, an unparalleled, great lover of learning. We know that Confucius was a peerless, great educator, and we know that he was a political genius, just from hearing this one quote. When there are three people walking together, my teachers will be among them. From them I select what is good in them, and I follow it. From them I notice what is wrong in them, and I change it in myself. Now, this teaching is enough to know, just using this one line from Confucius, we know that his entire life he was most humble. He was never arrogant. He was never self-satisfied. Now, why did he say this? What did he say? He said if there are three people walking together, two of them are my teachers. One is the teacher that I imitate because of his good example, and one is my precept teacher. He's the one that I use as my negative example, and I avoid following him. So I select among those who I am with the good points, and I follow them. And I select from the people I'm with the faults that they create, and I correct these errors in myself. So the people we are with, their good points, their long points can be our fa, our dharma, our models. And their unwholesome points can be our jia, our precepts, the things that we cut away, cut back in ourselves. So today, as we are here to be people, if we can use this theory as our motto, as our benchmark, then there is nowhere where we won't feel at home. No matter where we are, we will feel very, very comfortable.
无上者是我们的戒，咱们要以它为戒使。所以今天咱们做人要能用这个理论作为咱们的座右铭，咱们无入而不自得。那么古人是这样的谦让的德行所以后人尊他为圣。
Because Confucius and the sages of the past were able to be humble and to be able to yield in this way, the virtue of their practices caused us who follow behind them to call them sages, call them worthy ones. Now we have our reasons for doing this. There's another saying that goes this way. Everybody in the assembly are my teachers, and I am everyone's teacher. That's to say that everybody is my teacher. I recognize that everybody has something to teach me, and we all learn from each other in this way. Likewise, I want to be everybody's teacher. Everything I do teaches people, one way or the other. And in this way, together we rub and polish, chisel and cut, until we file down to our brilliance. And at all times, I am always my own teacher. The third line goes, and I am always my own teacher. So the assembly is my teacher, and I am everyone's teacher. And at all times, I teach myself. That's to say, every day, the things that we do, we want to look at our actions. We want to look at our words that we speak, and we want to examine our thoughts. So, are my thoughts, my actions, and my words in accord with truth? Are they in accord with principle? I'm always comparing and investigating, examining the things that I do, I say, and I think. Zhengzi, Confucius' disciple, said, I always criticize myself every day in three areas. The first is, I ask myself, have I or have I not been responsible? The word is loyal, but we also say responsible to my seniors. Have I been honest and trustworthy with my friends? And has there been any instructions that I got from my teacher that I failed to carry out? These are the 3 points where Zhengzi, Confucius' disciple, would examine himself every day.
曾子啊，他自己都说，他不是一个很聪明的人，所以在《孝经》上说过：“仲尼居曾子氏，则先王要治得要道，民用和睦，上下无怨，不知之。”你知道不知道这个啊？曾子必喜曰：“曾子啊，站起来，必喜的站起来，恭恭敬敬。”对呀，孔老夫子就说：“身不敏呐，这身我呀，很不聪明的，何足以？可是啊，他不够知道这个先王的治要道。”民用它就能和睦，上下都没有怨没有。
Now, Zhengzi himself said he acknowledged that he was not a smart person. He felt that he was not smart. Where was it? In the classical filial respect, the classical filial piety. Confucius was at his ease. He was relaxing. And Zhengzi was attending him. And Confucius said to Zhengzi, the ancient kings had a path that led to the utmost virtue. When the people use it, they are harmonious and get along. Above and below, there is no grumbling, no grudging, no complaints. Did you know this? And Zhengzi leapt to his feet and said, Zhengzi is very stupid. I am not an intelligent person. How could I know this? And Confucius said, my body, my hair, and my skin all come to me from my parents. I do not dare damage them. This is the beginning of filial respect. So, how does the quote go from the classical filial piety? Confucius was at his ease, and Zhengzi was there attending him. And Confucius turned to him and said, the ancient worthies, the kings of the past, said, we're not going to go through the passage yet. There's one more quote, which is that the superior person takes the foundation, takes the root as his duty. He takes attending to the root as his duty. The root, the foundation of being a person, is in filial respect and in brotherhood. How does that go? It says that the superior person, the noble person, wants to learn basic truths. He wants to learn, he makes it his duty, learning what is fundamental. When the root is established, when the basis or the foundation is laid, then the way comes forth. The Tao is born. When the Tao is established, when the roots are deeply planted, then the foliage is very luxuriant and flourishing. When the way grows forth, then we know that the roots are deep. The roots run deep. And when those roots are well established, then the way comes forth. So what acts as our root? What is our root? Filial respect and brotherhood. Our job as people is to go back to the root, to find our source. This way, we know what to attend to. We know what to pay attention to first. We people ought to seek our roots. What are our roots? Our roots are filial respect and brotherhood. That's to say, obeying our parents and respecting our elders. Respecting our seniors, our older brothers and older sisters. This is our most important duty. This is our number one priority as people. Now, we can't say, we don't want to say, that I'm ready to graduate, my learning is over, and my job is to go out and get the highest salary I can. It's not correct. The most important thing we want to do is to learn to be filial and learn to be good brothers and good sisters. That is bringing to completion our duty as people. How are we as sons and daughters? People who have forgotten their roots do not understand how to be people. So, our number one priority, the first condition that we have to obey if we want to really be people, is learn how to be filial, how to repay the kindness that our parents give us. Now, in Western education, in all of Western scholarship, very rarely will we ever encounter anywhere that explains this teaching. We don't get to hear about filial respect in the West. But nonetheless, West and East alike, we have to repay this kindness. It comes to us from our parents. For instance, we get our body from our parents, first of all. We want to take the body that we get from our parents and make it very healthy and very sound. We want to make the thoughts in our minds very healthy and very sound. We want to make our words and our behavior all healthy, solid, and sound. In everything we do, we want it to be healthy and solid and true. We can't injure it as we please, carelessly. So, as Confucius said to Zhengzi, my body, my hair, and my skin come from my parents. I dare not injure it. We don't want to use this body that we got as a gift from our parents and go casually break the laws of the country. We want to follow propriety. We want to obey these rules, propriety, custom manners. We want to know what is right in what it means to be a person who is mannered, propriety, etiquette. We want to take the rules and make them our own and obey those rules. This way we can learn to be truly honest, truly genuine people.
要循规蹈矩，按部就班，我们做一个实实在在的真实的人。那么做人呢，基础是做人的基础。
What is the foundation of being a person? There are 6 words that say it all. Humaneness, righteousness, the way, virtue, honesty, trustworthiness, loyalty, that is, and filial respect. Again, humaneness, righteousness, the way, virtue, loyalty or responsibility, and filial respect. Filial respect is something that is innate to every person as soon as we are born. This is something that we cannot escape, and thus we have to attend to it. If we can take to its natural end and to its completion the way of filial respect, then God will certainly be very happy with us. If we can exhaust, as to say, go to the ultimate point with filial respect, then the bodhisattvas will be very pleased with us. If we can be filial children to the ultimate point, then the Buddhas will be happy with us. If we can take to its logical conclusion filial respect, then our parents will certainly never get angry with us. If we can be this kind of filial children, then our brothers and our sisters won't compete with us for profits. We won't always be trying to get a deal from each other. This is because filial respect is the foundation of being a person, as we are, as our spirits exist here between heaven and earth. As to say, quite naturally, filial respect is the foundation of being a person. That's the first. Now, to be responsible, to be loyal to our country, that simply means that we are very public-spirited and unselfish. That means we are very direct, straightforward, and unbiased, proper people. We admire our own country. We cherish our own country. And we don't, in thought after thought, want to attack others' countries. We want to protect others' countries as our own. This is what's meant by 忠, being loyal, or being responsible to our country, trustworthy. If we attack other people's countries, if we invade others, then we are immediately not responsible to our own country. Why? Because in order to attack, we certainly have to use the lives of our fellow countrymen and our wealth as well to go fight a war. Now, if that's the case, if that's our behavior, then as we fight over the fields, corpses fill up the wilds. As we fight over the cities, corpses line the streets. That's to say, wherever there's a war fought, the result is simply a lot of death. If we fight out of town, in the wilds, then the ground is covered with corpses of the dead people who fought. If we fight in the cities and compete for ownership of the towns, then the cities fill up. It's said that the earth is meant to eat the bodies of people, and these offenses are not expiated with death. These offenses are not redeemed by death. That's what the earth is about. The earth simply devours the corpses of all those who die on it. And even though you have lost your body, there is still more to repay. Your death is not, the debt is not ended with death. So, as people, as we go about being people, at all times we want to use an attitude of affection, an attitude of kindness and sympathetic love. That's to say, when we deal with people, we want to use a heart of devoted affection with each other. We want to measure our own behavior every day. Look at the things we do. The things that we do exclusively to benefit ourselves, we do less of those. The things that are exclusively harmful to people, we don't do at all. So if we can fully learn how to use these 6 words, this is humaneness, righteousness, the way, and virtue, honesty, and filial respect, and expand them and draw upon them, then our foundation will be set on solid roots. We set up our foundation, and an entire life we will enjoy good health, we will enjoy happy spirits. We won't have any afflictions in our lives. Our hair won't turn white, and because of worry, our eyes go blind, and we worry ourselves into deafness. None of these afflictions, these troubles, will bother us. And we can say that if we are this way, then we will not have simply muddled our way through another life and passed through another entire lifespan without knowing which end is up. All good and wise advisors, all fellow students, and all teachers and professors. Now there's an opportunity to bring up any questions that you might have, to discuss them among ourselves. But we want to first explain, the Master says, that I'm a very stupid person. I don't have a lot of learning. I'm not very erudite. So if you ask me questions that are too smart, I'm afraid I won't have any way to answer. On the other hand, if you ask me questions that are too stupid, I just don't want to answer those. So now's the time for your questions. taking questions with their cameras. That's hard enough.
Anybody would like a piece of paper and pen?
The reason for that is the problem with cameras is they can only take others' pictures. They can't turn around and take pictures of themselves.
Anybody have questions? Just raise your hand.
如果是需要纸笔，要写下自己的问题，要举手，我们就有笔纸。
没有人问问题，我来先问问题。我请问大家，俺们人是吃饭为活着，还是活着为吃饭？
If nobody has any questions, I'll ask one first. The first question is, do we live to eat or do we eat to live? What was that? 他答复是我们是吃的为活着。
活着为了什么？
And then what do we live for? The first answer was, of course, we eat just to live. So the response was, well, what are we living for then?
For knowledge?
知识。
求知识做什么？
What's the point of that? What's the point of seeking knowledge?
不错，俺们人人都应该求智慧，要有智慧，有大智慧就不会糊涂了。也就因为求智慧，成佛。佛是一个有大智慧的，所以我说佛教是一个智慧教。那么我再稍微加以解释这个吃饭为活着，可是我们活着绝不是为吃饭吃饭俺们也要活着，不吃饭俺们还要活着，俺们人人都不愿意死，他要是俺们不愿意死，活着到底下要做什么？活着是应该以先教教后教，以俺们所学的智慧教导那个没有学智慧的人，这以先教教后教，俺们要做一些个有功于世、有德于民、有利于整个全人类。这个人的责任、人的天职、人的任务应该是这样，不是为了吃饭。
That's right. Our purpose in coming is to seek wisdom, not necessarily knowledge. 知识 is knowledge. The question was 知识. The answer is wisdom, 智慧. Our job as people is to seek wisdom, great wisdom. Why are we upside down and muddled and confused? It's simply because we lack wisdom. Once we have this wisdom, then we won't do muddled, upside down, and confused things. So, the basic question is right here. The Buddha sought wisdom, and because he accomplished his wisdom, he became a Buddha. We could say that Buddhism is simply great wisdom. So we in the West, as we teach Buddhism, have changed the name. We don't call it Buddhism, we call it the study of wisdom, the learning of wisdom, or the teaching of wisdom. Now, another question was answered correctly, which is, it's not the case that we simply live to eat. That's not right. If we want to eat simply to live, and doesn't matter what we eat, we will still live on as long as we get enough to eat. But we don't want to be confused about this matter. We don't want to eat. We don't want to live just to eat. So once we know that we eat simply to live on, what is life about? The reason that we live is for those who wake up first, those who are enlightened first, to teach those who will get enlightened after. That's to say, the wisdom that we learn now, we want to turn around and teach to those who come behind us. We want to have virtue, merit for the world. We want to establish virtue for the people, for the sake of the citizens, of all of humanity. And we want to have a great contribution to all of the Dharma realm, to all of the universe. This is our duty, to have real merit and virtue, and to be able to pass it on and to benefit the world, to benefit the entire world. This is our first job, not simply to come here to eat. There's a question here. Is the thinking of Buddhism and the thinking of Confucianism on the fundamental concept, that is to say, the outlook of virtue and the way, the same? That's the first question. Is the concept of way virtue in Confucianism and Taoism the same or not?
一个小学的课程的道德，一个中学的课程道德，一个大学的课程道德。大学的课程道德就是像你呀，皈依佛法僧三宝啊，不要把这三宝忘了。那个中学的呢，就叫你皈依你自己的精气神，不要把精气神耗散。那么初学的呢，就叫你把人道好好尽圆满的它。这是这个一个小学课程，一个中学课程，一个大学课程。这个课程呢，如果你想详细明白这个课程的内容嘛，也先要申请报名，入小学或者中学或者大学，然后才能了解。
The answer is, the question again was, what are the different points in the Confucian and the Buddhist approaches to the concept of virtue in the way, Taoda? There are three levels of learning going on in this comparison. The first is a level of elementary school, the second is high school, the third is the university, the college. In the curriculum, the content of the course of the university is to teach us to take refuge with the triple jewel and not to forget the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, the triple jewel. The curriculum, the content of the course offerings for the middle school, the high school, is to teach us how to guard and protect and to preserve our essence, our energy, and our breath, our own internal three jewels, and not to scatter or lose them. The curriculum in the elementary school is to teach us how to do a very good job, a complete job of being good people. Now, once we learn the different curriculums, once we learn what there is to know in the university, the middle school, and the elementary school, we still have to sign up for the course. We have to enroll in those schools. And then, once we enroll and take the course, then we understand what it's all about. You can't really understand completely simply by asking. Asking is not enough. You have to actually study the course. Question number 2. Karma is in this life and many lives past. When will I ever get rid of past karma and make a better life for enlightenment now? Karma is in this life and many lives past. When will I ever get rid of past karma and make a better life for enlightenment now? 这个问题是今生所受的这个业报是从前生很多生种下造的，是今生受。我什么时候能把过去的业障消灭，令我现在这个生命可以开悟？这是什么时候？
随缘消旧业，更莫造新殃。
you pay up your debts as they come due, and for heaven's sakes, don't create any more. The question is, what is the most important behavior for people? 做人最主要的行为。
做人最主要的行为呀，要去欲断爱，不要年纪轻轻没有成熟就他妈去decide。
The most important behavior for people is to cast out love and to cut off desire. Don't let it be that even before we're mature, we have too much desire.
7、8岁的小孩子，行淫欲将来人都会成了短命鬼。
If 7 and 8-year-old children already understand about sexual conduct, sexual behavior, then in the future we will all become 断命鬼, ghosts of short life.
为什么呢？他没成熟就把它割去了，就像那个小苗那个没有秀穗，没有长成呢，他就用刀把它割去了。你说他绝对不会有收获的。
How come? Well, the analogy of crops. If just as soon as the crops put out their tiny sprouts above the ground, they're still little green sprouts, they're just seedlings, and we come along with our scythes and chop them down, and right at that stage, it's for sure when the autumn comes, there won't be any harvest.
今天我所答复你们各位善知识的问题也不知道是这个妥当不妥当可是事到在近，非到在退请你们各位择善而从，不善而改。到时间了吗？
I don't know whether the answers that I've given today to your questions are to the point or not. But if they are, if you feel it is the way, then you should walk that road. If you feel it is not the Tao, then you should retreat from that road. Select from it what is good and follow it. Select from it what is not so good and get rid of it in yourself.
最好当你也没有问，我也没答复，两个没有敌友。
The very best thing would be for you not to have asked and for me not to answer. Then there's no deal.
就算你也没有问，我也没有答复。
Then you should treat my answers just as if you hadn't asked and I hadn't answered.
大家都把它忘了。
And everybody forgets what we said. That's the very best.
可是我不相信你能办得到。
But I don't believe that that's something you can do. You won't be able to forget it. Won't be able to pull it off. This person says, 我们吃饭、生活、做人根本就是在痛苦中过着生活。有钱没钱，这世上有多少人是真正的快乐过活呢？
那谁叫他来做人的？
Well, who told? The question is, we eat simply to live our lives and to act as people. The foundation of our lives is just to get along in this life of pain, get along in our pain. Whether we have money or not, we still just put up with our pain. We just cope as best we can. Now, in this world, how many people are there who are truly happy as they live their lives? The answer is, well, who told you to come and be a person in the first place?
你要去控告他。如果是天主，你去控告天主。
You should go sue that person. Now, if you say it was God, then you can go take God to court
辩论一下。
and argue it out in court.
这个问题我没有开悟，我不会答复这个问题。
Give the answer first. I am not enlightened, so I can't answer this question. That's the answer. The question is,
Okay, in reciting the Shrangama Sutra or the Great Compassion Mantra, what is the difference? How do you get enlightened sooner by reciting one or the other? I think that's the idea. And the answer you just heard, I'm not enlightened, so I'm not qualified to answer this question.
我比你更愚痴，没有法子 answer 你的 question。
那个问题是念楞严咒，还有念大悲咒，境界与开悟的迟早如何？然后上人的答复就是：第一，我没有开悟，所以我不能够答复这个问题。为什么呢？因为我比你更愚痴。
咱们要想知道吃饭有什么用，你吃了知了后就知道。
if you want to know what's the use of eating, well, you have to eat. You yourself eat, and after you're finished, then you'll know. The answer, what the master said just a moment ago to the question about the mantra was, I'm even stupider than you people, so I can't answer that question about reciting, which gets you enlightened faster. I'm not enlightened was the first answer, and then I'm even stupider than you, so I can't answer.
一笔诸始于路，我始终不竭于成的。你想造个房子，你和走路的人呢？问走路的人呢？走路的人不知道。
I think there's a quote that goes something like that. If you're building a house, you don't want to ask the passers-by, the knothole supervisors. If you're building a house, you don't go and ask a passerby on the street for instructions in building your house. That's not the way to do it. So, time is up, and we'll see you all this evening as we continue to investigate the principles of being a person.
现在说他的不得不得难。
Good afternoon, everyone.
Bạn của mình